Daniel Penny, who put Jordan Neely in a fatal chokehold on the New York City subway, was charged on Friday with second-degree manslaughter. And the response, Eamon, from conservatives has been to treat him as both a victim and a hero. In fact, Governor Ron DeSantis tweeted out a link to a crowdfunding site for Penny's defense, saying, "We stand with good Samaritans like Daniel Penny."
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and it is clear that the Republican Party is not, as they claim, the party of God. MSNBC's Mehdi Hasan hit Florida Governor Ron DeSantis with a biblical fact check recently. Hasan went off on the GOP leaders for putting Daniel Penny on a pedestal. Penny was charged with manslaughter in the death of a New York City homeless man, Jordan Neely. Neely had reportedly been shouting at subway riders that he hadn't had anything to eat or drink. Jordan Neely suffered from mental health issues and was living his best life the way that he knew how to. He was asking for help, but because he was homeless, he was portrayed as a villain on Newsmax and other right-wing extremist broadcasts since the news broke.
I'm a Muslim, but I've read my Bible. I've read the Gospel of Luke, the parable of the Good Samaritan, who helps the injured traveler after the priest and another man failed to do so. I don't remember the Good Samaritan choking the traveler to death.
I mean, I think it's safe to say we should stop pretending that Republicans are the party of God. I mean, they are not a party that demonstrates compassion in the spirit of Christianity, whether it is on immigration or helping the homeless. I mean, instead, they are a party that now openly champions vigilantism.
DeSantis and other conservatives have praised Penny's actions as being a Good Samaritan. The Good Samaritan law has always been a common theme on channels like Newsmax and others. Hasan hit DeSantis head on. "I'm a Muslim," he said, "but I've read the Gospel of Luke. The Good Samaritan is somebody who helped an injured traveler after others failed to do so." He said, "I don't remember a Good Samaritan choking a traveler to death." Ron DeSantis has sent out a tweet advertising a fundraising link for Daniel Penny that was brought up in the interview. Penny was seen on the video applying a chokehold on the victim, Jordan Neely, and holding it even after other passengers tried to intervene. Neely died as a result.
I mean, this is now the party that stood behind George Zimmerman, who killed Trayvon Martin, a boy walking with Skittles. So they're not about to change their tune, Mehdi, and side with justice for the homeless man killed on a subway. They are rallying to Daniel Penny's defense, which has now raised more than $1 million since he was charged with that manslaughter. And by the way, that money is being raised on a Christian crowdfunding site that has become the go-to site for far right-wing causes in America, like the Legal Defense Funds for Kyle Rittenhouse, the January 6 rioters, and whistleblowers who spread anti-vaccine disinformation.
Maybe they should fund free Bibles like you get in hotel rooms to Trump supporters to actually read the parable of the Good Samaritan. Read about some of that compassion you mentioned, that, as you rightly point out, they don't show across the board.
The Republican Party is not the party of God. They are not a party that demonstrates compassion in the spirit of Christianity. The GOP has demonized the homeless community, voted against mental health legislation, and put these violent vigilantes on a pedestal. Kyle Rittenhouse isn't a hero, and neither is Daniel Penny. The GOP's embrace of vigilantism is a clear and present danger. Being poor is not a crime. Being hungry is not a crime. Being homeless is not a crime. But the GOP wants you to fear these people, maybe even harm them. DeSantis is a cruel individual to vilify Jordan Neely. The man was merely a product of his environment, an environment that people like Ron DeSantis will never know about. DeSantis seems to enjoy making people suffer. From his own cruel treatment of immigrants to his agenda of destroying higher education, Ron DeSantis proves every day that he is not a leader. He is another dictator. Donald Trump is not any better. He urged his followers to carry out violence on January 6th with his inflated words. The host had a great suggestion. Maybe the Republicans should fund free Bibles to Trump supporters so they can learn what the parable of the Good Samaritan really is. But contempt prior to investigation is what people like Trump and DeSantis bank on. They want to keep their viewers afraid that another group, whether it's homeless people or immigrants, is trying to take something away from them. Trump and DeSantis are running a con based on lies. They are the bottom of the barrel, and that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.